Nitro RC nerds here, and today what we're going to do is a video where we review some of the more common RC related cleaning agents. Now, this is a video I've actually wanted to do for some time just because I've used quite a few different ones, and I have found that there is a tangible difference among the products. So today what we're going to be specifically reviewing: Nitro Clean, made by Team Associated; Losi Nitro Tech Nitro Chassis Cleaner; Dynamite Magnum Force 2 Contact Cleaner; and then the Track Power line of cleaning agents, at least two of them, which is the Speed Wash and the Speed Prep. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we'll begin with the Team Associated Nitro Clean, and the thing really that you want to look for in all of these, at least these contact cleaners, is to make sure that they are safe on plastics. And you also, of course, this goes without saying, but make sure that they're safe on metal. None of them are going to be safe on electronics, so as always, be very, very careful what you do. But these three, the Nitro Clean, the Nitro Tech, and the Dynamite Magnum Force, essentially have same sort of directions to where you just really, all you want to do is spray it on an area. And so I'm just going to spray this first part of the chassis here. And the Nitro Clean is okay. One of the things I don't like is that you can see here, hopefully, it leaves a little bit of residue. Now, it's easy on your chassis because all you need to do is just simply wipe it off. But if you are to spray it in areas where you're unable to get a brush or a cloth, then be ready for some residue. It's not real bad, but it does kind of leave a bit of a, I guess what you'd call kind of an oily film behind it. Okay. However, I would say for the most part, though, it really is a decent contact cleaner. You can use it on your engine as well, which is always a plus. So this is one of those ones you can pretty much spray anywhere. But the trick is you got to be ready to make sure that you wipe down wherever you spray. Or there's another alternative, which I'll show you here shortly. So with the Team Associated Nitro Clean, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give it a 3. Next up is the Losi Nitro Tech Cleaner. And I was really excited about this. I'm a fan of Losi, but I have to tell you, I've been really disappointed with this one. Same concept, you just spray it down, give it a good sweeping motion. This one here, for whatever reason, it just doesn't really do that good of a job, I don't believe at least, on taking off dirt. I'll give you a good example. So right here, hopefully you guys can see it. I've got some little bit of residue on here, and what will happen is I'll spray it, and it'll start to come off. But what happens is, and you can see it in other areas, it's clean just for a little bit while it's wet, but once it dries, then you get that dust again. And I know it's kind of hard, and toward the end of this video I'll go through and show you more explicit examples, but the problem with this one is I found that you really have to scrub. Even using your air compressor and blowing it off isn't going to be enough. This one here just, I don't know, I've not been impressed with it at all. What I really do like in any sort of a contact cleaner is one that you can just spray it and blow it and you're done. But this one here, unfortunately, has not worked out that well for me. Next up is the Dynamite Magnum Force 2, and I will say, without a doubt, this is my favorite of all the contact cleaners, and I specifically use this just for my engine parts. And a lot of you know I do like to take my engines apart and clean them, and I certainly trust this one. This one I use mainly just on any sort of metal, especially around the shocks and things like that. And it does a really good job of taking off any sort of grime and oil and things like that without requiring much, if any, scrubbing whatsoever, which is really nice, especially when you're cleaning parts like your piston and your sleeve and things like that inside of the engine. So this one I would certainly recommend, not so much for the body, but for any sort of metal parts, and specifically your engine. Now I want to show you a good example of what I was talking about with respect to either the Nitro Clean or the Nitro Tech. You can see here I've got some little bit of grime and whatnot on here, and typically you think, okay, you can just spray it just like I did right there. Now what I'm going to do is wipe it down. Forgive me here. Give it a little bit of a wipe, and it appears clean, but really not so much. Once it dries, if I don't wipe everything precisely, I'm going to see smudges and smears and things like that. So that's where I think track power really comes into play. The great thing about track power is you have different types. First you have your speed wash, and then your actual your car detailer itself. And these ones I use a little bit differently, but going back to this battery compartment, I just spray a little bit, and then right in here, at least with the actual speed wash itself, you do not want to let the residue dry on there, so you want to get that off as quickly as possible, versus the actual speed prep itself, the detailer, you can leave that on. In fact, you're supposed to leave that on just for a little bit. And going back now just on the actual battery compartment here, hopefully you guys can see it. So that thing just got it as clean as anything, just with a little bit on there. So it's pretty amazing. The next thing that I really like to do with these is just spray it liberally all around any of the areas that I want to clean. And then from there, I just get and I'll spray off the speed wash. After that, this is where my personal favorite, the car detailer, really kicks in, because this makes an incredible difference. So kind of the same thing. Areas where I can wipe, I will wipe. But with this, they do tell you that you kind of want it to let it sit in a little bit if you can. And then from there, once you let it sit in, you simply get your air hose, if you have one, compressed air, whatever, and you just go around and spray it all down. Just come out like new. Very impressive stuff. So let's go over one more quick way to use these as we magically transform and show you the beast here. You can see I've got a lot of grime and stuff right there, and all back in here. I got it muddy once. Oh geez, that was a bitch to get off as well. Still working on it. But so in this example right here, if I just want to spray that off a little bit, we'll see how that comes when I wipe. Not too bad, but it can be better. You can see in that one area after using the Magnum Force 2 made a really big difference. But when it comes to things like even these shocks right here and down here on my A-arms, believe it or not, this is when I'm going to turn to the track power, to the speed wash, and to clean it, and then to the actual prep to give it that final shine, the detailer, excuse me. You can see that it really does make a difference. So the net is that all of these cleaners work. It's just a matter of which ones are going to take a little bit more time to use, which ones you're going to have to scrub a little bit more with, which ones you can use your air pressure gun with, and all of that good stuff. So anyways, hopefully this helped you guys. To recap, I would certainly recommend the track power for all of your needs, say for your engine cleaning, and then just for your engine cleaning, Magnum Force 2. Now, of course, there are quite a few other agents that I didn't talk about, such as WD-40 and Simply Green and all that kind of stuff. Those do work as well, and they have their purpose, but for RC-related cleaning agents, these are the ones that I would certainly recommend that you work with. Thanks so much, and have a great day.